What's up, YouTube? I'm Joel Wanasek with URM Academy. I'm a pro mixer, and today we're going to break down here and react to Nickelback, Animals, mixed by Randy Staub. Let's go. This mix crushes. Okay. Oh my God. What an intro. I mean, first off, those guitars come in like a chainsaw. They are so thick. One thing that's really cool about this is in a lot of rock guitars, they roll off the bottom end, and leave a lot of the mid-range to leave room for the bass. And Randy Staub actually just has a ton of low end and guitar sub, like 80 to 120 hertz, just cranked into the bottom of those guitars. And they sound big and fat. And then that kick and that snare drum come in, and it's just like demolishes your face. It hits so hard. It feels so awesome. What an introduction. What a way to command attention. That bass slide, the kick drum, it's just crushing. Wow. Okay, so breaking this mix down a little bit, the first thing that really stands out to me is how massive the wall of bass and guitars are. Okay, so basically what's crazy is the amount of low end that's in that guitar. He has to carve out the bottom end of the bass guitar, dip it for the guitars, right? Then fill in that mid-range that's scooped out of the electric guitar, put the top of the bass in somewhere between 800 and 1K, and then the bass is really rolled off, and then that it extends into a nice, beautiful top guitar high-end sheen. So it's insane how that frequency spectrum is just like a wall. Like literally one instrument ducks and dips while the other one comes up and just fits and locks like that. It is just crushing sound. Like, oh my God. Okay, let's listen to some more. Okay, one of the things that makes this mix work is it's really tight, really, really tight. And the way that this is achieved, I can hear it right now, it's with the master bus compression. So the way Randy Staub has got it set, I would say, and I don't know for sure, but it sounds like it to my ear, I hear about like a 10 millisecond attack time. Could be 30, but I don't think there's enough bloom in the bottom end, and it's very tight. So it feels like a 10 millisecond attack time to me with an auto release, which basically is like a very tight snap. So you get a really nice attack on your drum, and then it's going to be a really controlled, smooth, even sounding mix that's just super tight, and it just breathes and pushes and pulls. And I mean, he is just demolishing that compressor. He's hitting it really hard, and that just takes the whole mix and just like locks it into this massive ball of crushing energy. Awesome. Okay, a couple more thoughts listening to this and deconstructing it a little bit. So I also hear that aside from like the wall of guitar and bass, the kick drum is by far the loudest element. So there's a ton of bass in this mix and a ton of kick, and that's what really drives the energy of this mix and just gives it that massive pumping excitement when you listen to it. It just sounds colossal. There is so much bass. It's very, very loud in the mix, but it sounds like it's a guitar, where reality is that probably 60 to 70% of that guitar tone is actually bass. It's that loud in the mix, but it's hard to detect because of how skillfully it's mixed in and it's locked. And the kick drum itself has a lot of sub, and it has a lot of click, and which is cool because you can actually hear some of the downbeats. It's accentuated with the attack. It punches on some of the downbeats of the part, and then some of the other hits are softer. So you can get that dynamic. So the kick drum is like all click and all sub in the frequency spectrum. It's really loud, driving the energy, and then you have a ton of bass to fill in from basically the bottom of the kick drum all the way to the mid-range, and then the top of the kick is very clicky. Listen to how that plays in this mix.
Get in, just get in. Check out the trouble we're in. You're beside me on the seat, got your hand between my knees, and you control
I mean, you can hear that kick and bass just drive right there. It is awesome. It's cool because Randy Staub takes a snare, pulls it back a little bit. You know, like in the intro, it's just super aggressive and just melts your face. And then as soon as the track comes in, the snare kind of gets tucked back and that big fat smacking punch just kind of sits back in the mix and helps drive the groove and plays a secondary role. Now, another thought here is Chad's voice. Like, it's cool because some singers, you know, they'll crank a lot of top end, like especially in pop, you know, a lot of like high-end air into the voice to make it really bright. And Chad's voice is just a lot of mid-range because he's belting. He's got so much power in his voice and energy. And it's just like, in terms of the frequency spectrum, you've got the bass here, you got the guitars up here, and like he's skillfully placed right here. And then Randy Staub's got the cymbals like up in the high frequency range, and they're kind of rolled off. So, you know, it's like an interlocking set of puzzle pieces in terms of the way he plays with the frequency spectrum and gets everything to lock and fit perfectly in its space. And it's just phenomenal to listen to. I mean, like, take the mix game, Nickelback, just destroys it. Oh my God. We just take a second to appreciate how ridiculous this mix is. I mean, this is why Nickelback is just, in my opinion, the bar for a great mix, because how skillfully the instruments are locked together in the mix, how the energy of everything works, how bus compression is used to bring everything to just be so tight and just juicy. It's got the perfect balance of bottom end, the perfect balance of energy, a great vocal level where it's like, you know, it's not too loud, it's not too quiet, it's right in that sweet spot, and it just connects. It feels awesome to listen to. The louder you turn this up, the better. I highly recommend you take a mix like this, throw it on a good system, and sit back and just enjoy it. Love Nickelback or not, my God, their mixes absolutely command the highest level of respect because, like I said, they're the bar. All right, so that's my breakdown of Animals by Nickelback's mix. I think it crushes. I think you'll feel the same. Let me know what you think about this mix. Let me know if you have a particular song you want me to react to on the mix and break down for you. Drop that in the comments below. Please click like and subscribe. And if you want to learn how to actually mix, head over and check out nailthemix.com. Thanks.